So this is a series circuit word problem, and I thought I'd do maybe 3 examples here and show you how to set these up. They're not very hard to do. You've just got to get everything set up in the right place. So to do one of these problems, the first thing you want to do is figure out how many things are in the circuit. And so here we have a railroad signal lamp and the coil of a semaphore, and they are connected in series. So we know we're working on a series circuit, which means we're using the 4 rules for series circuits. Current is the same, voltage adds, resistance adds, and power adds. And we're going to use those 4 rules plus Ohm's law to solve this circuit. Since there are 2 things, we're going to make a table with E, I, and R, and 2 things on it: the lamp and the coil. Okay? Then you put your total line at the bottom, and we'll just divide this up. And now we're going to fill in what we know, what is given to us in the problem. And it says the resistance of the lamp is 16 ohms. So resistance, lamp, we're going to put a 16. That of the coil is 5 ohms. So the resistance of the coil, we're going to put 5 ohms. And it tells us the current is 2 amps, which is wonderful, because if they tell you the current is 2 amps, that means you're going to put 2 in every box under I. You remember I stands for current, and so every one of those is 2 amps. And all they want us to find is the total voltage, which means when we get this answer right here, we can stop. We don't have to work everything out necessarily. We can stop when we get the answer they want. So let's look at how you would solve this. I'm going to change my color on my pen just so you can see the difference in what was given and what we're going to calculate. And let's figure this up. Okay, we know that resistance adds. So we're going to come over here to the calculator. 16. 16 plus 5 is, well, that's not working. $16 plus 5 is 21. And so this goes in here. 21. And 2 times 21 is 42. So the voltage of this circuit is 42 volts. We don't have to worry about those because we don't need them. Now, you could have also said 2 times 16 is 32. 2 times 5 is 10. And you'd have had 32 and 10 and added them up and got 42. You can do it either way you want. I usually try to do it with the fewest number of steps. Okay, let's look at another example. Right here. And it says in a telephone circuit, the receiver, transmitter, and line coil are connected in series. So we can see immediately that we have 3 things: the receiver, the transmitter, and the line coil, and that they are in series. So again, we know which rules we're using. And we're going to come up here with the blue, and we'll write down a table. E, I, and R. Now there are 3 things in this circuit: the receiver, the transmitter, and the coil. I'm just going to call them R, T, and C. Actually, let's call this the trans, because we're going to have a T down here for total. Okay? Now, we are going to fill in the information given in the problem. The receiver resistance is 2.2. So over here beside receiver, under resistance, 2.2. The transmitter, 6.2. And the coil, 1.2. If the current in the receiver is 500 milliamps, what is the total voltage of the circuit? So the receiver current is 500 mA. Of course, that means they are all 500 mA, including the total. Remember, current is the same, so you're not going to add ever for the current. They're just all going to be the same. And it wants to know the total voltage in the circuit, which is here. Okay, again, we're going to add these numbers over here up. So we'll go to the calculator. And we've got 2.2 plus 6.2 plus 1.2, and that is 9.6. So 9.6. And we've got 500 milliamps. So we know that E is equal to I times R. So we're going to multiply these two together. 9.6 is already in the calculator. Now we're going to multiply that by 500 milliamps. Now remember, to put milliamps in the calculator, it's 500 exponent negative 3. It equals, and you've got 4.8, and so your answer is 4.8 volts. Now, once again, you could have worked each one of these E's out up here, and then you could have added those up, and you should have got 4.8, but, it's not necessary to do that because we've got the answer here we need, 4.8. All right, let's look at one more example, and then I'm going to see if y'all can't do those that are in the Moodle on your own. Okay, let's see. Go to the overview. Pick the last problem. And here it is. Okay, let's look at what's given this time. We've got a motor, a lamp, a rheostat, and those are all in series. The voltage across the motor is 96. The lamp is 24. And the rheostat is 40. And we know the current in the motor is 2 amps. Okay, so just set yourself up a table. Oops. E, I, and R. How many rows will we need? 3, because we've got the motor, the lamp, and the rheostat, and then the total down here at the bottom. Fill in everything that is given. The voltage on the motor is 96. Voltage goes under E. The lamp is 24. And the rheostat is 40. And we want to find the total current, the total voltage, and the total resistance. Of course, we know that the motor current is 2, which means that all these others are 2 as well, because there can only be one current in a series circuit. Okay, so we've got the total current, answer A, already figured out. Right there it is. Answer B, the total voltage. How are we going to get total voltage? We're going to add those numbers together. So 96 plus 24 plus 40 is 160. And so now you've got the total voltage. We found that. Now we just need the total resistance. Well, 160 divided by 2 is 80. So our total resistance is 80 ohms. And of course, this is 2 amps and 160 volts. That's how you do a series circuit word problem. They're really not that hard. The trickiest part is setting up your table, and you do that by figuring out how many things that you have before you start. If you miss that step, you'll never be able to do this because you won't get your table set up correctly. We don't need to find these resistors because we can get the resistance by dividing there, because R is equal to E over I. But of course, you could work it out the other way. There's more than one way to do every one of these, and I just show you the way that I do it. So other ways are not wrong as long as you get the right answer. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'll do some more examples. See y'all later. Bye.